Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UGC Independent High School Interclass Debate Competition. Our topic today is every home should have a robot. On my right is the government team from PA, consisting of Mr. Christian Liu as the first speaker, Mr. Felix Oy as the second speaker, Mr. Kai Jie as the third speaker, and Mr. Sun as the fourth speaker. And on my left is the opposition team from EC, consisting of Ms. Xin Yuan as the first speaker, Ms. Yue Han as the second speaker, Mr. Ding Yi as the third speaker, and Mr. Jae Hing as the fourth speaker. Now, I would like to introduce our team of educators, Madam Tan as the chief educator, and the other educators are Mr. Fu Minghao and Ms. Anshe. For today's debate, I Kongwei will be the chairperson for this debate, and Yo Yuheng will be the timekeeper. Now, I'm going to introduce the rules of today's debate competition. Firstly, the maximum speaking duration is 5 minutes for each speaker and 4 minutes for time speech. There is no extra time given. Next, during the rebuttal, members should not bring up any new arguments or new evidence except on direct refutation of material which has already been presented. Then, members will only speak when called upon by the speaker. There should not have any heckling. Besides, all speakers should attempt to both deliver at least one POI except one POI during the course of the debate. There is no continuous POIs allowed. It is considered as active. Furthermore, the first minute of each constructive speech is considered the correct time during which no POI can be made. In addition, no POI and new point may be made during the reply speech. Moreover, the government team must define the resolution. Their definition must be accepted unless it is undebatable or unreasonable. Lastly, is the time limit of competition. Time given is 5 minutes. The first bell will ring after the speaker speaks for 1 minute, like this. After 1 minute, member of the opposition team can then raise the POI. After speaker has spoken for 4 minutes, the bell will ring like this. POIs can still be made after this. POI time given is 15 seconds. After the bell rings, the speaker will have to stop. And after the speaker has spoken for 5 minutes, the bell will ring twice, like this. The speaker has to stop. I now call upon the first speaker of the government to present his case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
A very good morning to the learned educators, honorable judges, and the precise timekeepers. My worthy opponents and amazing teammates. I'm Jishin from the affirmative team, which strongly agree with today's debate topic, which is every house should have a robot. I will be providing out our team's definition, team's line, team split. Now I will be giving out our team split and team line. I am the first speaker and I will be giving out our team's definition and our first point. Felix, our team's second speaker, will be giving out our team's second and third point. Kai Jie, our team's third speaker, will mainly be giving out the rebuttals and summing up our team's case. Lastly, Sean, the last speaker, will be giving out the ending speech. Now, I will be giving out the definition of the home robot. Home robot is a device that can reduce work of our house. And at the same time, it can keep our house clean and tidy. If every house have a robot, the stress will also be reduced. the members of the house can do their job more efficiently. We can also live a more leisure and relaxed life by having a robot in our house. So that's why we strongly agree that every house should have a robot. Thank you.
Thank you. The first speaker of the government team has spoken for 1 minute and 49 seconds. Next, first speaker of the opposition team to present her case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good afternoon, learned educators, honored audience, and my respected opponents. The topic for today's debate is everyone should have a robot. I, as the first speaker of opposite team, would like to strongly affirm our objection for robot can also have negative effects too. Today, I will be giving out the roles of the speakers on the negative team. I, Singren, as the first speaker, will be giving the definition of today's debate, providing some context. I will rebuttal and giving out my team's first point, which is robots cannot adjust emergency situation immediately. Yuhan, as the second speaker, will be rebutting the affirmative team and giving out my team's second point, which is robots' creativity and relationship, which would never be found in robots. Ting Yi, as the third speaker, will talking about robot that's effects for children, and he will be rebutting the affirmative team. Jamie, the fourth speaker, will be giving the reply speech and summarizing the whole debate. The first speaker of the government team said that robot is useful. That's the point I disagree is because robots will kill human intelligence, because robot does a certain work again and again. They didn't learn anything, but human does it a certain work. Human will learn a new thing because robots are work on commands. Ladies and gentlemen, my first point is robots cannot adjust emergency situation immediately. About 98% of robots are not water resistant. If flooding happens, the robot cannot adjust to emergency situation immediately. It will cause a huge damage. They cannot adjust emergency situation because robots are invented and coded by humans. So robots are work on commands. They cannot replace humans.
Thank you. The first speaker of the opposition team has spoken for 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Next, second speaker of the government team to present his case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning. I am Felix, which is the second speaker of the government team. I will be talking about our team's second and third point, which is helping humans save money and taking care of humans. And now I will talk about our team's second point, helping saving money. Robot will definitely follow your instruction and will not have bad emotion. If you hire a maid, he or she will probably get lazy and unfollow your instruction or resign. Due to that, I would like to ask you all a question. Have you ever heard a robot will pass a resignation letter to you? And to my third point, taking care of humans. They can keep child safe with the robot. They can launch for them and make sure they are safe, and also can take care of their child while they sick or are working, taking care of security issues. And by that, I rest my case here. Thank you.
Thank you. The second speaker of the government team team has spoken for 1 minute and 35 seconds. Next, second speaker of the opposition team will present her case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning. I'm Johan, the second speaker of the negative team. The negative team believes that this statement is false. Robots can never replace humans. In today's society, we already are full of intelligent robots in our house, but they are not anthropomorphic. The washing machine can sense the type and weight of laundry and suggest the best washing program. The cleaning robot cycling wonders in the house cleaning the floor. Robotic toys talk to our children and entertain them. Smart TVs use recommendation, and some applications help you balance the temperature in your house. But let's come back to our humanoid friend. Why would you be needing a humanoid in your house? And why there are in no standard house humanoid at this point? Even if humanoid robots are very advanced in the modern years, they are still problematic when handling interaction with multiple people. Moving in constrained space, or when they should have fast reactions. They would still be extremely expensive for their quite pointless tasks. I'd rather employ a creative cook than buying some very costly and specialized robot. Our first speaker has already said there are a reason why even home should not have a robot. Creativity is a simple answer here. Humans are good at thinking outside of the box, seeing connection when they are not there. In our words, humans are good at seeing the big picture because humans own creativity and innovation. Having biologists solve chemistry problems, rather than show football players that the best way to dance the line. And theater actor works with photon 50 Celsius to reveal their humanity are a few things that robots aren't able to think of. Entrepreneurs that can utilize old solutions to solve new problems or that can magically see the future won't be replaced anytime soon. And pushing the envelope into the unknown is still something that only humans do. Next, it brings effect to relationship between humans. Humans are social animals. Humans need to work together, machines not. Simple bots may have a hard time recognizing the more than 50% of communication occurs in body language or in other understood that only comes from human intuition or long-term relationship. Robots usually don't have opinions. You might have friends like this, and they might possibly be robots. Hence, they try to not to discuss the latest in work culture or sports as evidence from my call with Lucy. There are some strange humans out there, but human-to-human relationship won't be replaced anytime soon. Giants in the robotic industry, such as Japan and Korea, have started building humanoid robots. They are built in a manner and resemble the human body. The robots look and behave like actual human beings. It can motivate people to develop emotions towards this machine. This can promote trust within users, but perhaps it can create overtrust as well. Could we depend and be overreaching to robots, causing problems when they are not around? An example for the signal, it is depicted in the film Her when a man develops a relationship with an intelligent computer operating system which has been personalized to a female voice. Thank you.
Thank you. The second speaker of the opposition team has spoken for 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Next, third speaker of the government team to present his case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
A very good afternoon to the honorable educators, my fellow teammates, members of the floor, and of course my worthy opponents. Today I'm Kaijet, the third speaker from the government team, And as a third speaker, I'll be mainly giving the rebuttals and summarizing my team's case. Okay, the point that given from the first and second point given from the opposition team is that robots don't have creativity and can't think for themselves. That's why we have AI, which is artificial intelligence, which can actually think for themselves and how to save themselves. And now, and then they also said that I would rather get a cook or a maid rather than a robot. But if you count it for a long run, most likely getting a cook or a maid is much more expensive than getting a robot. And now I'm going to sum my team's case up. The point that my first speaker gave out was robots are able to make our life easier by doing the chores. Think when after a long day of working, and you go back home and you go into a messy house, and then you have to clean it up when you're already so tired. But if you have a robot in there, it can help you keep the house clean, keep it tidy, and when you go into your house, you can go into a comfortable and tidy place for you to sleep, for you to do your work. And then my team's second point is that saving money. Like I said, getting a maid or a cook is most likely more expensive than getting a robot, because of every single month you have to give the cook and the maid their money which they worked for. But if you have a robot, you pay it now, and then it'll work for you until it's broken. Maybe you have to send it to maintenance, but this is most likely for every single month, or even half a year, or even a few years after it needs to go to maintenance. And my third point is that it can help you team's third point is that it can help you to take care of your child. The first thing is that when maybe your child is sick and you might not be able to be at their side when they need you. But if you have a robot, you can monitor them through the robot, and you can cook for them. You can take care of them through the robot, which can most likely cook, which most likely can do things that most likely you can't do when you're not there. And also, it can help you with your child's homework. You might think, why can't you just teach them yourselves? But no. As teenagers, our homework is getting harder and harder by year, and most likely our parents can barely understand what we are having and what we're doing in our workbooks or even textbooks. And this way, when our parents can't even understand what we're doing, how can they even teach when they don't understand? But unlike robots, they can get up to Google, they can even help you search. Unlike when you're having your parents to teach you, they have to go through slowly and learn it again. But if you have a robot to help you, they can even go on the internet, search the net, what is this question, what are they doing, and yeah. And this is why my team strongly agrees with today's motion, which is every home should have a robot. With that, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you. The first speaker of the government team has spoken for 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Next, the first speaker of the opposition team to present his case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good afternoon, I am Lini and I am third speaker. We, the opposition team, believe that every home should have a robot. I am going to discuss why we shouldn't have robots at home. Robots bring more disadvantages to us. People get robots to make their life easy. However, do they make us lazy? People nowadays hardly do any work involving through manual labor. In the modern context, there is less need for people to move around. Intelligent applications provide us with solutions to buy everything we need online. We can order all our groceries from online stores without having to walk to the supermarket downtown. I am not suggesting that it is totally bad, but has become responsible up to some extent for making us sick with overweight, diabetes, and high blood pressure. But bad effect to children. If we having a robot babysitting a child will have a bad effect on the child, as the child might think that the robot is my parent, and it is important to a baby to hear its father and mother voice. Robots are responsible to buy. This I agree because robot.
因为你导师不是还有问吗？还要回答我先吗？Yes or no?
Robots are reasonable to buy. This I agree because robot object cost few hundred thousand. If the robot broken, you have to spend more money to fix it. This cost not every home can afford the cost. If made easily, there will be 1,000 to 1,600 ringgit. Thank you.
Thank you. The third speaker of the opposition team has spoken for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. The first, second, and third speakers from the government and opposition have delivered their speech. Before both teams deliver the reply speech, each team will be given 2 minutes to discuss. Start now. Alright, the discussion time is up. Here are the rules for reply speech. After the speaker has spoken for 3 minutes, the bell will ring like this. And after the spoken for 4 minutes, the bell will ring twice. The speaker has to stop. Now is the time for reply speech. We will now invite the opposition to present his reply speech. Time given is 4 minutes. Please begin.
Good afternoon. I am Jamie and I am fourth speaker. We, the opposition team, believe that every home should not have robots. Our first speaker spoke to you about the robot cannot address emergency situation immediately. They cannot address emergency situation because robots are invented and coded by humans. For example, about 98% of robots are not water resistant. If flooding happens, the robot cannot address emergency situation. Next, our second speaker spoke to you about robot will destroy human stability and relationship. People will have their own thinking, but robot won't have it. If people be dependent to robot, it will destroy people's creativity. People's relationship will also destroyed by robot if people always adjudicators to handphone. It will cause that people not communication to others, make them become not so close with others. At last, my first speaker spoke to you about the bad effect to children and necessary from robot. Children might be lazier as all the work because robot will help them to think up. They don't need to do it themselves. So, Madam Chairman, distinguished guests, teachers, and students, in conclusion, we believe that every home student have a robot because robot might harm people and have a lot of unexpected dangers. People still can't completely control robot. It will have a lot of risk to people. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker of the opposition team has spoken for 1 minute and 27 seconds. Now, let's invite the government team to present the liberalized speech. Time given is also 10 minutes. Please begin.
A very good afternoon to the chief educators and the judges, timekeeper, and my worthy opponents, and also my teammates. I'm Sean. I'm the fourth speaker from the government team, and I'll be mainly giving the reply speech of today's debate. As my first speaker said, his point said that it makes a robot can make our life easier. If every house has a robot, their stress level. If every house has a robot, after working for so long, and they have to like clean their own house, clean their own house, they'll be very tired even tired than before. And if there's a robot in their house, if the robot cleans their house, they can save their energy, like resting in their home, and therefore reducing their stress level. And my second speaker also said that the robot could keep their child safe, the owner's house, their child safe, even if they are sick, and they can also therefore taking care of security issues. And my third speaker also has said that my third speaker has said that robots can also robots can help their child with their homework, because the homeworks are getting harder and harder, and parents may not understand what the homework is asking about and what's the question, and robots can search a question online from Google, Yelp, Bing, and more. And the opposition team first speaker has said that robots, if a robot does certain work, it doesn't it learns nothing. But if a human does a certain work over and over again, they can learn something. And the second speaker from the opposition team has said that humans can do a lot of things, robots can, and for example, like thinking about creativity and thinking. And also said that if we keep using robots, and it may replace humans, but I think there's a little way to I think it's kind of far from the top. This kind of example is like quite far from our topic. And the third speaker from the opposition team has said that robots can make us lazy because robots always does all the housework, but it's their own choice to be lazy, and you can't do nothing about it.